All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. So, in today's live stream, we're going to talk about 5 ways to ensure financial success. I think everybody wants to be financially successful. So, it's only right that we talk about 5 ways that you can ensure financial success. Just an update, the hurricane has passed. So I should be in my apartment by tomorrow, and you should be seeing a different background, right? Right now I'm in a hotel, and yeah, can't wait to get back home because, living in a hotel is probably not the most financially, the best financial decision, right? But it was a comfortable decision, I should say that. All right. So yeah, so 5 ways to ensure financial success. Let's get right into the list. Number one is live below your means. Practice frugality and avoid lifestyle inflation. This allows you to save more money and invest it wisely. Even as income increases, maintain a modest lifestyle helps build wealth over time. And this is true. Now I'm not the biggest person. I'm not the biggest like the biggest frugal person. I do like to spend on things I like, but there's a difference between being frugal and living below your means. Now you could be you don't have to be frugal, but you could still live below your means. So let's just say I made 100K a year, and my expenses, all my expenses and things like that added up to like 50 or 60K, and then I was able to put away 20 to 40K. But within that 60K, I was able to spend on the things that I like, right? Maybe buy the t-shirt that I like, go out to the restaurant that I like, and buy the things that I want. I did that all within the 60K. So that's still living below your means because you're not going over that 100K threshold. And not only going that 100K, I don't think living below your means is spending exactly 100K. I think, living below your means is probably spending around 60K to cover those expenses, and then you still need to be able to save. So I think being able to save and invest and then covering your expenses equates to living below your means, not expending exactly what you have or expending exactly what comes in. So yeah, but I'm not the biggest person as far as being frugal. For instance, this hotel that I'm staying in, I chose to stay here for the hurricane. I could have stood with friends, family, and things like that, but I needed power, one, for work, and then two, I just like to be comfortable. So, I looked at my savings and things like that, and I told myself I could afford it, so that's what I ended up doing. But if you're not in that situation, maybe you would have stood with a friend or a family. And I did stay with a friend one day, but I had to give my own space. But yeah, I think in certain scenarios like that, if you're a person that likes to get your coffee or whatever the case may be, you don't need to be that frugal. I think you just need to be able to meet expenses and be able to save and invest, and that's considered living below your means. All right, number two, invest early and regularly. Compound interest is powerful. The earlier you start investing in stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, or crypto, the more your wealth can grow. Consistent investing, even in small amounts, can lead to significant returns in real estate as well. And this is true. I think I really started investing when I was like 23, 24. I wish I would have started a lot sooner. Now, a lot of you probably say, oh, that is pretty early. And I do think I invested pretty early on. But in the beginning, I would say from like 19 to 21 or 22, I was trading, right? I wasn't really investing. I was in and out of stocks. I was trying to pick the hottest stock. I was trying to find the next big 30x, 40x play when I could have just been taking that money and investing it, and I probably would have had, probably a lot more than what I have now. So I think investing early is very important. I think you need to, if you could start in your teens, perfect. And most of you have a side job in your teens, so you could start putting, a few $100 away a month, and from like 18 to 22, because most people, I would say most people start investing once they get their first good job out of college. So that's probably around 22, 23. And so if you could start 5 years before that, put around 4 to 5K a year for those first 5 years, 18 to 23, you probably have like $20,000 to $30,000 saved up as you get into the actual workforce or open a business or whatever you start to do. I think investing early is pretty important. Most of you are not investing early, and also you need to start investing early with your own money. Now, your own money does constitute your 401k at your job. But I think people need a side brokerage account. I always tell people open up a brokerage account, and start investing on your own. That way you get exposed to some of these blue chip plays like an Nvidia or Tesla or whatever the case may be. You could start investing on your own and not just have that 401k at the job, right? Or your IRA or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think this. So number two is invest early and regularly, right? So so investing early and then regularly means make it consistent. And the best way to do that is automate your investing. So you say, okay, I'm gonna bring in $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Now, 2,000 of that I'm gonna invest automatically into an ETF or your favorite blue chip stock or your favorite crypto or whatever the case may be. But you got to make it regularly, because some people just put 2-3,000 in one time and they think that's it. They think, okay, that's going to compound to my $1,000,000. No, it's not, right? So you need to be investing on a regular basis, and it needs to be a sizable amount, in my opinion. Don't try to put 10, $20. You know, give investing as much importance as your rent, your car payment, and whatever other payment you have. A lot of you just pay your bills and you pay it faithfully, but when it comes to investing, you don't take it as serious. So you got to take it as serious, right? All right, three. I would say three is try to focus on 1 to 2 plays, right? Don't be so diversified in the beginning, is my opinion. I don't think you should be as diversified in your earlier years. I think your earlier years, you have more time to make mistakes, but also you have more time to do research and focus on 2 to 3 plays, whether it's 2 to 3 blue chip stocks, maybe it's 2 to 3 type of properties or crypto or whatever the case may be. But don't try to be too diversified. I would say like at least maximum three assets and minimum two, right? You just don't want to be in one thing unless you have a high conviction, which I'm okay with too. If you've done the research, if you paid for the research, I'm okay with you going all in if you've done your research, especially if you do it early, right? Because you have time to bounce back. You have that time to bounce back, then it's okay, right? You make a decision at 22 to invest in this blue chip stock. Maybe by 24 it doesn't work out. We still have from 24 all the way to like 35 to get back in the game. So you still have time. So I would suggest you not be too diversified in the beginning. I know a lot of people say, oh, diversify your portfolio, go into this ETF, which is good too. I think a portion of your portfolio could be diversified, but I think in the beginning, a good portion of that should be focused on blue chip stocks or blue chip assets, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be stocks. All right, 4, build an emergency fund. Financial success isn't just about wealth accumulation, but also risk management. 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in emergency funds help you stay afloat during unexpected events like job loss or medical emergencies or natural disasters such as a hurricane, which I experienced this past week. And I think that's true. And the reason why people look at it like, how can emergency savings help me be successful or make me make money? Well, if you have 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses saved, then you can avoid dipping into your investing accounts. Most of you don't have an emergency savings. So let's say you had 20K in Nvidia, and Nvidia is going to be going to the moon in the next 4 to 5 years. But then in the middle of that 4 to 5 years, you have a medical emergency in year two, but you didn't have that emergency savings saved up. So now you have to dip into that and pay for that emergency savings. So I think building out an emergency savings is helpful. Maybe you don't start with I think 3 to 6 months is aggressive for most people. I think you should get to that amount. I think honestly you should have a year's, but I think you should get to maybe start with a month, right? Or maybe start with a month, and you have a month worth of your paycheck saved, and then from there start building it out. But I think it's important to have that because a lot of you dip into your investing account to cover an emergency expense, or a medical emergency, natural disaster, or whatever. So yeah, 4, building an emergency fund. 5, continuous education for yourself. Stay informed about financial management, markets, and investment strategies. Personal finance literacy is crucial to making smart decisions. Books, podcasts, courses can help you improve your understanding of money management. This is so true. I think there's so many people on YouTube giving out free knowledge. Now, obviously, it's not financial advice, but there's a lot of people on YouTube that know a lot and that you could get free information from. I do believe at some point, whatever you're trying to specialize in, whether it's real estate, stocks, or crypto, you should pay for some type of service where you're going to get more quality information to help you make a better decision. Like I say, I pay thousands of dollars for the investments I get into, so that way I can have the information that I need to make the best decision when it comes to my investments. I don't like making investment decisions on just what somebody said on Twitter or a video I saw on TikTok. I like to have enough information from multiple sources to make a decision, right? So you need to make sure that you're continuously learning. You can do this through YouTube, podcasts, books, courses, things like that. All those things will help you get to your financial success a lot quicker, right? And a lot of you don't like to pay for information. No, again, don't just pay for any information that's in your sector, in your category, that's going to actually help you, right? There's a lot of people selling stuff that's not going to help, and you need to be able to discern on what information is good and what information is not going to help you get to where you need to get to. But yeah, so these are the 5 ways to ensure financial success. So let's go over the list again. 1, live below your means. I think it's important to live below your means. You don't need to be frugal, but make sure whatever's coming in is higher than what's going out, right? 2, invest early and regularly. This is true. You need to invest early. Try to start investing early as possible, and then regularly, right? You need to be consistent. I would say probably that's the most important part, regularly. If you're not consistent, it's just not going to work out. 3, make sure you don't diversify too much. I would say a maximum 3 assets. It could be different asset classes, and then minimum 2. Right, you don't want to just be at one, but if you are in one, make sure you do a lot of research and you're confident, you have a lot of conviction in that play. 4, build an emergency fund. It's important to build an emergency fund because if you have an emergency, you don't need to dip into your investments, and you won't mess that whole play up, right? If Nvidia, if you have a position in Nvidia and it's going to go to the moon, but then you have to liquidate because you have to cover emergency expense because you didn't have an emergency fund, then that will be sad, right? 5, continuously educating yourself. This is very important. You won't get anywhere if you don't continuously educate yourself. The market is changing each and every day, and a lot of things change, right? You may be holding a position, things might go left with the business or company or asset, and you need to pivot, right? Maybe you need to sell early. Maybe you need to add more. Maybe you get more conviction in the play. You need to add more, but you won't know that if you don't keep up with the markets, right? You don't keep up with your education, your financial education. All right, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so some housekeeping items. Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram, Mr. Financial Nutrition, TikTok, Financial Nutrition. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else. No, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.